This is Winning Cures Everything. Here's your host, Gary Seegers.
Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday, March 27th. I am Gary Seegers, your host. This is Winning Cures Everything. You can follow me on Twitter at GaryWCE. You can follow the show at Winning Cures. Find us on Facebook, facebook.com/winningcureseverything, or make life easy on yourself. Go over to winningcureseverything.com. We got everything over there. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Pod, whatever your favorite podcast app is. Go check that thing out. This is the rundown for the show today. Alabama has hired a new basketball coach. Obviously, I am an Alabama basketball fan. We will talk about what happened there. The NFL pass interference rule has changed, and the AAF is in danger of folding, possibly. So we'll see what happens with that. First off, the show brought to you by Tunica, Mississippi, the South's premier sports gambling destination. They've got 6 incredible sports books. You can find information on all of them, along with everything else you can do down in Tunica whenever you decide to visit, over at tunicatravel.com. So go check out that website, do your thing. And baseball season is officially here. Opening day is tomorrow, March 28th. If you are new like me to gambling on America's pastime, you need to go over and make sure that you insure your profits, right? So go over to trendybets.com. They have got incredible systems that are proven to work. Trendybets.com is the place to go. They've got different promo codes for different systems and whatnot. MLB 150 for their 5 MLB systems for the year. That's normally a $500 value, but you can get it for $150 if you use MLB 150. Or if you want the rest of the NCAA tournament, if you get the MLB package, you get that for free. If you want the rest of the NCAA tournament, then you get 1 week of the MLB package for free. That's a $50 value. You can get the NCAA tournament stuff for $50 if you put in MM50, MM50. So go check that thing out, trendybets.com. That is the place to go. It is a proven system. It works. In the description down below on YouTube, on Facebook, whatever, we will have their numbers for the last week, for the last couple of years, etc. So you will know what you were getting. It is worth your money. Go check them out. Trendybets.com, the place to check it out. Let's jump in. Alabama has hired Buffalo's Nate Oats as head coach. Now, Oats was a high school coach for over a decade at Romulus High School in Michigan. He was an assistant coach under Bobby Hurley at Buffalo for 2 years. Bobby Hurley leaves to go to Arizona State. Buffalo likes this guy a lot. They hire him. In 4 seasons, he has been to 3 NCAA tournaments. He has won 2 games in the last 2 years. He is unbelievable. Now, he's only 44 years old. His wife is a cancer survivor. The guy can recruit anywhere. It is remarkable if you go look at their roster. They got guys from Dallas, from Florida, and he convinced all these people to come to Buffalo, New York, which is crazy. They had a 6 seed in the NCAA tournament this year. That is the highest ever for a MAC team. So, yeah, I think this will be fine. I talked to Gary Parrish from CBS about it. Oats is a star. He will win anywhere he goes. That's the way it works, right? Location familiarity doesn't matter if you are a superstar. And that's the deal here. He's from the Northeast. He's got ties into all sorts of places up there as far as recruiting goes. I think he'll be able to recruit anywhere he goes. I think he'll be able to win anywhere he goes. And now that he's at Alabama, I do like this. It kind of shows me that they did have a plan in place. I was a little worried about it. At first, I was questioning, okay, why did we not just go out and throw, a Brinks truck full of cash at Chris Beard or at whoever, right? Buzz Williams or whatever. But I think if you had your sights set on this guy, he's young, he's new. We're still going through renovations in Tuscaloosa with Coleman Coliseum, et cetera, et cetera. This is somebody that can bring excitement to the program. His offenses have been remarkable in the last, let's see. So 2016, he gets to the NCAA tournament. His adjusted offensive efficiency is number 158 in the country, number 153 in 2017. Then in 2018, it's number 34. In 2019, it's number 21. His adjusted defense this year was 31. Now, it wasn't great the years before that, but he finally figured that out. Effective field goal percentage has been great. His turnover percentage, as far as offense goes, number 24 in the country. That is a far cry from the number 280, whatever it is, that Alabama was this season. So the free throw percentage, that's something I was complaining about with Avery. It's not too good for Nate Oats either. He was number 130 in the country in his first season, number 230 the next season, number 241, number 264. He's actually gotten worse. We'll see if maybe an assistant coach or somebody can change that. Free throws will hurt you. Maybe not as much as turnovers, though. And if you don't turn the ball over, maybe you're in a little bit better situation, right? So they went 32-4, Buffalo did this year. I think I like the hire. If you are a star, it doesn't matter where you go, you can win. And I like that idea about this guy. He's a great coach, from what I can tell. I'm excited to see what happens. He's got John Petty, Daniel Giddens, Kyra Lewis, and Dazon Ingram all in the transfer portal. Got to get that fixed. Got to come in. First order of business is re-recruit the players that are already on the roster, get them out of the transfer portal, make sure that they are comfortable with staying here, and then go out and re-recruit the actual recruits that were coming in, and then we'll see what happens from there. Next up, NFL pass interference rule. Non-calls are now reviewable, which is, that's exactly what you wanted in the Saints game, right? But the way that it is going to be done, it's not really going to change a whole lot from what's happening. Coaches are going to get 2 challenge flags, the same as they always have, only now they can use it on something like this. That was just an egregious non-call. So it's not really going to mess with pace of play. It's not going to make the game longer, et cetera, et cetera. It's something like this where the referees just completely whiffed on something. In the past, it was not reviewable. Now it is totally reviewable. So you can come back and throw a flag after the play was already done. You don't have to throw it during the play anymore. If they buzz down from the top, or if the coach thinks that there was something there that should have been, or there wasn't something there, or whatever, coaches can throw that flag now, or they can buzz down for a non-call. And I like it. I like that. The AAF, possibly in danger of folding. So here's the deal on this. Tom Dundon, who came in after week 3, the guy that actually was the main investor, it's a guy named Reggie Fowler. He tried to buy the Minnesota Vikings. That deal fell through. He then was recommended by the NFL to the AAF, and he had $170 million that he was investing to the AAF. By the time that Dundon swooped in, he had only put in $28 million. So that's where their financial problems were coming from. They still had enough to pay everybody, but they were not getting the money from him as quickly as they felt like they probably should have. So the deal there is Dundon swooped in. He has already put in $70 million, but once he got control of the board of directors, he changed their business plan. So on Twitter, I shared out this story by USA Today that was basically Dundon saying the NFLPA won't let their younger players play in our league, and if they don't let us do that, then we're just going to have to fold up shop. Because Dundon said that this is supposed to be an NFL feeder league. That's not really what the AAF had intended initially. They planned on being an NFL feeder league after about 3 years, not right off the bat. So Dundon tossed this out there, and there's a lot of problems, a lot of issues both ways on this, right? One, yeah, it's a great idea to have your younger players that aren't playing all the time, having your practice players for the NFL that aren't playing in the NFL, having them come down to a spring league, like a minor league team, kind of the way that the NBA does the G League. It's one thing to have them come down and play and whatnot, but if they get injured, what responsibility is it of the NFL team? Are NFL teams going to be parent teams to different things? The whole thing is completely crazy. What I tweeted earlier was it's kind of ridiculous of the AAF to go ahead and start this platform without securing what the foundation was supposed to be. If you're going to start a season, know what you're getting into. And with Dundon, he came in and completely changed up what they were planning on doing. I can't imagine what Bill Polian is thinking because he's running this thing, right? So I am curious what's going to happen. I believe Clay Travis, or it might have been somebody else, said that he thinks that somebody like Vince McMahon might come in and just buy out the AAF, and that way he has no competition with the XFL next season. And I think that might be reasonable. If these guys in the AAF don't have a plan, don't know what they're going to do, Dundon has taken over, it might be better to just fold up shop. That would give the XFL more options as far as players go. Maybe the XFL buys these teams and they actually keep the teams operational. There's no telling what these spring leagues are going to do. It would have made more sense for them to be working together as opposed to separate. But we'll see what happens. The XFL has got much better distribution already set up. I mean, they're working with ESPN and Fox. Games are going to be on ESPN and FS1 and whatnot. Better distribution than NFL Network and CBS Sports Network. So we'll see what happens with the AAF. Stuff like this coming out does not mean good things, I wouldn't imagine. It does not portray this league in a good light. The league has been entertaining, but there's not a lot of advertising. People forget that games are on. If you look at the crowds, there's not a lot of people at the games. But it does fix that football fix, right? It does cure that itch. And I think it is something that could be useful going forward, but only if they do it the right way. And I don't like the way that Dundon and that whole bunch has done it as of late. There's only 3 weeks left in the season. We'll see how things happen. We'll see what the playoffs are like, if anybody is still interested. I know that TV ratings are pretty good for it because people are watching. People care. There's a buzz on social media. It's something that people are interested in if it can be done the right way. All right, so that's going to wrap up today's show. I will have Sweet 16 picks tomorrow. Our initial picks are up on the site, on the YouTube. We've got a video already up. It's a deep dive into everything about these teams, about these games. So go check that out. Chris and I went through about an hour or about 50-something minutes of breakdowns of the Sweet 16 games. I will have my official picks tomorrow. Looks like P.J. Washington is going to be back. We'll see about that. There's been no official announcement, but he did come up with something on his Twitter page where he was walking around and whatnot, and Calipari retweeted it and said, uh-oh. So we'll see if that changes the Houston line at all, the Houston-Kentucky line. It was -2.5. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so that's going to wrap up today's show. Tomorrow, you'll be able to get the gambling picks over at winningcureseverything.com. You go up to the navigation bar and click on gambling picks, and it'll be right there. Lots to discuss tomorrow, I would imagine, getting into these games and whatnot. Cannot wait. As always, go to the website, winningcureseverything.com. Follow us on Twitter at winningcures. You can follow me at GaryWCE. I love hearing from you guys. I really appreciate it. Subscribe on YouTube, comment, tell everybody about the show, share it out, subscribe on the podcast. Go to trendybets.com. Make sure you got everything for Major League Baseball opening day. They have got their picks ready to roll. Go check that thing out. We will see you guys again tomorrow. Thanks for checking out Winning Cures Everything. If you want to keep up with us, hit subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. Visit the website at winningcureseverything.com, or you can like us on Facebook or follow us at Winning Cures, at GaryWCE, or at Chris B. Giannini on Twitter. Share out the show, leave a nice review, and make sure to comment and tweet at us.